certain number of bad things that came together there. First of all, Martin said they cleared a dance floor for you. Then we put on that Money Money theme tune, because I thought, wouldn't it be funny if a preacher had a theme tune to come into?
Yeah.
And then, as it was Money Money Money, the collection bag was given to it. All bad times. Which actually is going to make it very difficult for me now to speak about money, because you've probably already made your opinion. Tony is after my money. But in actual fact, I'm not after your money. I'm after sharing what I believe is one of the most releasing principles in the Bible to you. And we're talking about life to the full. And you can't talk about life to the full without talking about, well, you can't talk about life to the full on this planet without mentioning money. It's linked with life, isn't it?
Yeah.
Money is linked with life. And we know that. We know because when it's the general election, all the main three speakers, they're all trying to promise.
Yeah.
They're all trying to promise that somehow we're going to be richer. Okay, if any of the three speakers can convince this country, any of the three main parties can convince this country that they're going to make the individual in this country richer, they'll win the election. Landslide victory. Doesn't matter who they are or what's their previous histories. If they can convince this country that if they can convince the average person that if they vote for them, they're going to be richer, then they're going to get their vote, aren't they? And economics is so important. Where do I put it? I tend to lose things papery very quickly. I had a £10 note here a minute ago. What do I do with a £10 note? Does anyone like to help me find it?
I think your wife took
I'm getting stressed now because I've lost a £10 note. Okay? It's worrying. If you see it, let me know, won't you? But money represents so much. Money represents so much. Money represents, I would say, power. And it represents control. Because when we have a good supply of money, we can be in control of our lives, can't we? You know, we can do what we want, when we want, however we want, basically. And the more money you've got, the more control you can actually exert. You see, put it like this. If I have a little bit of money and I feel hungry, I can go to the shop and I can buy a pie or a donut or a cake or an item of fresh fruit. Okay, I can have control over what I'm eating. If I don't have any money, I'll wait for somebody to offer me some food and hope that they do. If I have a bit more money, I could say, my car, it's okay, I want a better one. And I can turn up in a flash car, you know. I say, I need to get from A to B faster, so I get an even faster car. And all that sort of thing. And if I have loads and loads of money, I can say, my football club, in a terrible trouble at the moment, £120 million in debt. I can save my foot, I can exert control over the situation. Just put £120 million in. Portsmouth Football Club still exists. I've got another £120 million and we've got some decent players and we will win the Premiership. So you can control things with money. Money is great, and from that point of view. That's why people do retail therapy. Usually you're a bit kind of stressed and you just want to exert a bit of control, so right, I'm going to spend some money. So I don't need to really explain. Money is like powerful stuff. Very, very powerful stuff. And this is why the teaching about money in the Bible is so against everything that we think, is so against everything that's ingrained in our lives. It's so different to what we're fed with. It's so different, the teaching about money, because basically wherever you look in the Bible, it's saying, don't worry about tomorrow, don't worry about money, God will provide, give it away. It's full of it, isn't it? It's full of it. And that is so opposed to anything we're going to hear anywhere else. If someone comes to me for financial advice, I would do what we said in the sketch, and I'd say, let's look at your giving. But I couldn't open a shop up the high street doing that. I wouldn't have any customers. You know, when you go to a shop on high street for financial advice, let's make things add up. Let's see what you can cut out. Let's see. You know, your expenditure. Let's see if you can sort of dodge a few taxes here and there. Let's see this sort of stuff. Nobody up the high street is going to say give it away. No one. But Jesus says give it away. And I was just thinking about that. It is so different. That's why I've got to talk about it. But, and I love this verse. It's from Luke 6, verse 38. Jesus says, give, and it will be given to you. And that's just the start of it. He says, a good measure, pressed down and running over, will be poured into your lap. And that's a wonderful picture, isn't it? A good amount pressed down and running over will be poured into your lap. It's, apparently the way they did it was they had, I can't do it with the kit I'm wearing, but they had tunics with belts on and they had a little slap there. And when, you just imagine it being pressed down and poured into their tunic here, which could actually hold things. Jesus is saying give, and it will be given to you so much, it's just going to, you know, be poured down, shaken over and poured into your lap. He's promising great things. I stopped and I thought, and this is a strange thing for a pastor to think, but I thought this. I thought, if there is a God, if there is a God, if God actually exists, that is the very best financial advice we're ever going to hear. I've thought about that because at the end of the day we live in this world, don't we? And we tend to get swept along by the ideas of this world, and this idea is so different that we're really challenged here. We've got to say, well, if God is real, then that's good financial advice. If he's not real, it's a load of rubbish. It's as simple as that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if you're giving stuff away and God's not real, then you're going to be out of pocket. But if you're giving stuff away and God is real and God's saying to give, you're not going to be out of pocket because he's promising you won't be. You see how the God factor affects this? But we've got to believe that he's real. We've got to believe he exists by definition. That's a strange thing to say to a church. But we've got to act in our finances like God exists. We've got to act like he exists. Because until we act like he exists, we can't let him exist in this area of our life. He doesn't exist until we act like he exists. Do you see what I mean? And there's a challenge there. And I just